Switching from a body part split to a full body routine? Want to know what to expect? Watch this.
Our next caller is Jared from Idaho.
Jared, what's happening, man? How can we help you?
Not a lot. I'm excited to be here. I want to thank you guys for the work that you do and for the truth in fitness, which is something appreciated.
Good deal.
Right
I will, my wife says I get long-winded, so I will just read my email straight away, and then
you tell great
stories.
stories. That's what that means. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys ask follow-up questions and or look for your feedback after that. Okay, so my personal background, 45 years old, about 5'10", 195 pounds. I'd say give or take about 20-25% body fat. High school, small college level athlete. Been previously certified as a personal trainer with ACE, certified strength and conditioning specialist with NSCA, practicing physical therapist for the past 10 years, working out about 5 to 7 days for most of my life, and researched and designed my own programming for the last 15 years or so. Questions. I had 2 questions. My wife introduced me to Mind Pump about 3 to 5 months ago, so I'm fairly new. But from what I've heard, I like the background and philosophy behind the MAPS programs. I'm getting ready to try someone else's programming for the first time in a really long time. I'm going to get ready to start MAPS Anabolic because we got the RGB bundle. One of the things I'm most interested in monitoring and tracking is my physique, hoping to lower my body fat percentage. So the first question is, what would be the best / most accurate way to track body fat percentage, ideally at home, but simple and easy methods? And then my second question is, I'd planned on starting anabolic just because it seems like what I would like the most, just given my background. But from what I've heard from previous podcasts, you guys often recommend the most beneficial program would be the one that's least like what I've been doing for a long time. And so from what I gather, that would be something like MAPS Symmetry for me. So I was wondering if I'd be better off still starting with anabolic or getting and kind of starting Symmetry instead.
Yeah. Are you do you have any aches or pains or any chronic type injuries right now?
I ache because my daughter's turning 18, but other than that, I'm good.
Holy shit.
You can't solve that, dude. I'm sorry.
No MAPS program will help you with that, except getting bigger to scare the boys away.
I mean, he's a DPT, so hopefully he's addressing most of that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, your background in correctional exercises, I mean, it exceeds ours, so you kind of know how to handle that. I think you'd be fine starting a MAPS Anabolic. MAPS Symmetry would be a great place to start also, but you could also follow it after MAPS Anabolic. And then, with your background and experience, you could also, of course, modify the program as you see fit if something doesn't feel right. But yeah, I think you get great results trying MAPS Anabolic, especially if you haven't done a kind of full body based workout before. If it was bodybuilding style, you probably did more of a split type routine, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah. I mean, not even just upper body, lower. It's, chest and tricep back.
Oh, you're going to love
and legs.
Anabolic's going to blow your mind.
Yeah, anabolic, you're going to respond great to that.
Yeah, it's going to blow your mind. The muscle and strength gains in that are going to blow your mind. It's just the superior way to train for most people. So give it a shot. I'd go through MAPS Anabolic, and then after that, MAPS Symmetry would be a phenomenal follow-up.
As far as body fat percentage, I mean, that's really going to come down to diet, right? I mean, you even with a crappy program, you can get pretty shredded if you're dialed nutritionally. So, I mean, that's going to be how diligent you are with your tracking. As far as a tool that you can do at home, to be honest, I've even used the shitty scales that are terrible.
Electronic impedance.
They're terrible. They're inaccurate. But you know what? As long as they are consistent and you're consistent with when you use it, I don't get hung up on when I get on the scale. It says that I'm 27%, and I know that I hydrostatic weighed a month ago and I was at like 8%. To me, although that would never happen, that much discrepancy, but you get the point that it doesn't matter to me that they're way off. What I care about is the one at home, what it starts out, and then as I'm manipulating my nutrition, where is it moving? And I'm really watching the big swings, because typically when you go into a cut or a diet like that, the most common thing, even professionals like ourselves that have certifications and knowledge and experience, is too much, too fast, right? So I tend to go into cut and you want to kind of do everything at once, or you cut really extreme, and then I see weight kind of come off too fast, and I'm like, I don't need to do that. I want a slow, gradual process. And so I would use any of those, just be very consistent about the time that you do it, and most ideally that's morning, no food, no water, no nothing in your system, first thing, naked type of deal, and the same day of the week consistently.
Yeah, that in conjunction just with your basic circumference measurements.
Yeah, that's it.
In terms of like seeing growth where you want to see growth, and then seeing like, let's say it's your waist that you want to see like the most difference in terms of like a decrease in size. So that's something you can consistently kind of revisit, weekly or so, just to give you an idea of where the trends are going.
So remember, to go back with what Adam said, to really, really hammer that home, the consistency with electronic impedance body fat testing is going to be in the time of day, the amount of water and food you've had in your belly that you test this. So in other words, if you test it first thing in the morning, on Monday morning, then that's what you always do. That way you're controlling all the controllables.
Right.
And that way you know that the scale, because the scale is going to fluctuate depending on your water in your body and food and that kind of stuff. That's what makes them inaccurate. And then just watch the trends. Don't get hung up on a 1 or 2% swing. Just look over the course of weeks. But I'll be honest with you, I like circumference. I really do. I like circumference better. If you store body fat like the typical male, which is mostly around the waist, you can honestly do two things. My strength, is it going up in the gym? And then is my circumference around my waist going down? If both of those are happening, then you're probably building muscle and getting leaner. Yeah. That's the easiest, that's the most simple, easy way to do to test yourself. And you could do circumference measurements, I don't know, twice a week just to see where that looks. And do the same thing, do it at the same time every day. I think first thing in the morning is best because what you eat can affect like gut bloat and stuff like that. So I would go first thing in the morning, right, above the navel or right at the navel, and that's it. That and my strength. Am I getting stronger? Is my waist going down? Then I'm going in the right direction.
Yeah, a waist measurement paired with some photos I love. I mean, when I was coaching online with clients, that was the check-in, right? Every Friday, first thing in the morning before they ate, they would send me over their circumference measurements with photos of front, side, and back. Yeah. And really, I'm looking at like 2 weeks. Because in a week, you could easily see a positive or negative swing that could throw you off, that makes you trying to adjust the program when you maybe don't, just you're holding a little extra water or something. Maybe you had a little more sodium the day before or something, or a couple more carbs. Like those things could easily go off like that. So I'm looking at like 2 week snapshots. Like if I'm looking at your photos from 2 weeks ago compared to where it is today, and you objectively look better, and your waist is either staying the same or even potentially getting lower, like we're on the right track.
Totally.
Just had to make sure to wear nipple pasties when I sent them to you.
Yes, I appreciate that.
Be classy about it.
So Jared, I'm going to send you Map Symmetry so you have that option.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so you could start with it if you want. I think you'll like Maps. I think start with Maps Anabolic. After Anabolic, you could go into Symmetry, then go into Performance. You have all those other programs in there, and then have some fun with it. I think with your background and your experience, once you go through our programming, I think you'll be able to modify it and start to figure out kind of what's going to work best for your body. And that's what we recommend anyway, is that when people follow our programs, that they start to individualize them. I've got to commit to following it to a T first, because it's been a long time. So it'll be hard for me to give up that control, but I've committed myself to giving it for the first time through, doing it to a T. Yeah, so
I'm so glad you said that, and you have that attitude, because I agree with it. Because someone with your knowledge and experience,
you're gonna want to tweak it.
It'll be very tempting to want to tweak. And even someone like at your level, I would say just trust the process all the way through, and then go back and I think phase 1 of Maps Anabolic is going to convince you. I think after the second week, when you start to see the strength gains go up, you're going to be like, okay, I'm going to stick with this and see what happens. That's my personal opinion. Nice. All right, man. And then with the impedance scales for at home, as long as I use the same one, do they stay relatively consistent? Yeah.
As long as it's like I said, first thing in the morning, same food, same water,
same time. What Sal is saying is the thing that will throw. I can take one of those things and manipulate it by 4 or 5% within 5 minutes, just by pounding some water, have some sodium, have some carbs, and that's what really throws those things off. So if you're really consistent at every Friday at 7 a.m. when you wake up before you get in the shower or something, you check it. It'll be pretty consistent for you. Consistent enough with a guy with your experience and knowledge, consistent enough to give you an idea. Am I heading in the right direction or the wrong direction? And do I need to correct nutritionally?
Nice.
Yep.
All right, Jared. Thanks for calling in, man.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for all you do.
Yeah,
good luck with
keep us
teenager.
posted, man. I'd really like to hear your experience as you go through it.
For sure. For sure.
All right, Jared.
He's gonna love
Oh,
maps
yeah.
anabolic. If you've been training that long with a body part split, that switch he's gonna blow up.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
he's gonna build
People
muscle.
see substantial change
Massive.
when they switch over like that. For
Yeah,
sure.
and the reason I put phase 1 where it is because I know that convinces people to continue on.
I love that too, that he said that he is, for him to say it, not us have to tell him, he's committing to, I'm going to follow to a T, because that's the most tempting. When you have that much education, that's
Yeah.
the hardest thing, is to take your ego out of it and be like,
Well, he's a physical therapist, so I'm sure he has patients who do the same thing. So
Oh,
it's like,
yeah.
all right, I got to be the patient.
I mean,
now.
let's be honest. Anybody sends us a program, like we'd go through that same process of like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah, no,
I
it's
know
all-
my body.
yeah. No, so I hope he does, and I think that he's going to see incredible results. So I'm
Totally.
excited.
Look, if you like Mind Pump, head over to mindpumpfree.com and check out some of our guides. We have guides that can help you with almost any health or fitness goal, and they're all free. You can also find all of us on social media. So Justin is on Instagram at MindPumpJustin. Adam is on Instagram at MindPumpAdam, and you can find me on Twitter at MindPumpSal.